The other thing that I want to bring up for you is that there's been this thing going on for the last year and a half, and I call it the Ab Wars. And it all started with Tony Little, who we know, who lives just down the road in Tampa. And it's kind of interesting that he has another ab product out, but he started out with the Ab Isolator. And did anybody buy the Ab Isolator? People don't want to admit this, do they? You know, there's like 5 gazillion of these sold. No one bought them in this audience. No, we don't have an ab problem. We're all thin and trim. It's not a problem for us. We eat grapefruit every day. We're on the grapefruit diet. But he started out selling this Ab Isolator, and the product took off because it was gearing towards the problem of people flattening their abs. But the promise, if you've seen this consistently through the Ab Wars, is just about everybody has the same guarantee. And when the first person came out with the guarantee, it was compelling, and now it's been diluted. And the guarantee is you're going to lose 4 inches and 10 pounds in 30 days. Anybody heard that guarantee? It's pretty consistent throughout all these ab products. I mean, you get the ab roller, the ab shaper. Tony's new product is abs only. You know, there's a bunch.
Sculptor.
Ab Sculptor is another one. But the guarantee is very, very consistent. But the point is when it first came out, the guarantee was compelling and became diluted because everybody adopted it as a guarantee. But there's an interesting thing about Tony Little, and we had the opportunity a couple of months ago to sit down and just talk for 3 or 4 hours. And it's interesting how, you know, he just set a new QVC record. He sold 58 semi-tractor trailer loads. Now, I just want you to imagine this picture, okay? He's on QVC for 1 day, and he flies up there every month. And just imagine 58 semi-tractor trailers rolling down the highway, all filled with product. 58 semi-trailers filled to the gills with this product. And he sells them out in 1 day. Over 60,000 people ordered. Let me tell you one of the keys to his success. This is really interesting. And this was very illuminating for me when I met with him. Because I wanted to interview and speak to the person he is the most successful live salesman ever to be on television. I'm talking about live, not taped in an infomercial. He's very successful at that. And one of the reasons he has the same spontaneity in an infomercial because he tapes them live. But he doesn't look at the person that's the most likely prospect when he sells a product, because he knows that's a given. He knows that that person is interested. He looks at the person that's not a likely prospect. And I noticed something in his infomercial, and you'll probably see it, and now he has abs only on television. And he has a couple of distinct characteristics in his product that come out. For instance, he looked at his product, and he'll take about 4 or 5 days to sit down and think about the marketing for the product and the buzz lines and who he wants to attack as a market. And the product, if you've seen it, unlike the rollers, it's just got a little pivot point that sits on the ground. And he created an animation that shows how our hips move. And they don't move as rollers. They move at a pivot. And he said, this simulates the exact same movement that your hips have. And then he also brought up a benefit that because it's on a pivot point, the product doesn't slip, like the roller products. So he's now eliminated the competition. But here was the most important thing that he did, because I watched him 4 times that day. I mean, it was just amazing. And by the last time he appeared, he was so confident that he went and he sold 2 other products he has. He has a skier and also a treadmill. And he blew those out, all the remaining inventory in that. He was on TV for about 20 minutes in that session. And he sells a gazillion abs only, and then he sells, I mean, there are thousands upon, he does about $15,000 a minute during this session that he has. But he goes out and he says something that the other people really haven't stressed that are selling these ab products. How many people in the room have a bad back? Get back pain, okay? Most of you at some point in your life will experience back pain. It's unfortunate, but most of you will. And he brings up the fact that this particular exercise is going to also help strengthen your back. So he's now expanded the audience just like that. And the other people missed it. And it's interesting because when we sold pillows on television, we realized that neck pain, through a process of testing, was a larger market with a compelling problem than people that snore. Now, most of you, if you didn't know that, would think that snoring is a bigger problem. Most of you, of course, that don't have neck pain. But the fact is he realized how to take his current market and make it bigger by thinking about the people that were the less likely prospects. And he came up with a believable, understandable, very logical way to solve their problem. Does this give you any ideas of what you're missing with products that already work? If you can take your market, and your potential market is 40%, and now just by adjusting and understanding the benefits, and a little bit later we'll talk about how to fix products that don't work. If you understand, sometimes by speaking to customers, you'll see benefits that you never thought of. You can now take your market where it's 30, 40, 50% and expand it to 50, 60, 70, 80%. So your marketing didn't get better. You just widen your focus because you brought in a new market that wasn't there before. So, you know, you think about it. I mean, 4 months ago, I said to myself, who the heck doesn't own an ab product? I laughed. I went down to a couple friends' house to play golf in West Palm Beach, and I walk in, and they've got one of the ab products. They're showing me their weight room and stuff, and they've got one of the ab products. Went to another person's house. They got an ab product. Everybody had. And Tony comes in. He started the craze, and now he's come in where you think it's peaked out. You know, if you go to Kmart or Walmart right now, you'll see 5 different ab products on the shelves. It's like they don't have a sporting goods section. They have an ab section. You know, this is sporting goods. This is the ab section. It's bigger than the sporting goods. But he comes in after you would think the market is spent and it's wiped out. He comes in and says, okay, I'm going to expand the market. It's brilliant. Guy's absolutely brilliant. And you can do the same thing too, just by sitting there and seeing if there's another benefit that causes an immediate solution that the other people are overlooking. And this gets back to being aware, looking, and starting to prospect for opportunities that exist, but people are missing another element of the market.